Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Miss Charlene, and you're having lunch with the Finance Bunch. Today, I'm so excited to have two wonderful guests that are in the studio with me today. Both of my guests are entrepreneurs. You know, last week we talked about starting your own business for $500 to $1,500, and we talked about some of the possibilities in doing that, because in creating wealth, you have to have money. And so sometimes when you work a 9 to 5, you just don't have that extra money that you need to start your own business. And so I wanted to talk to the two of you about how you started your business, what you do to keep your business going, and let's get started. Nice. So first, let me introduce Claudia Castro. Claudia is with Vacation Home Assistance. She's a virtual assistant. We kind of talked about you last week because you're getting paid, girl. And everybody was interested in learning about how you got started and how you got that done. We also have in the studio with us my videographer, and his name is Paul Baker, and he is awesome. So I want you to have an opportunity to tell us, you know, how you got into your field and everything. So we're going to start with Claudia, because ladies first.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, how you got into the business and why.
There's a couple of reasons, but my primary reason why I started doing what I did was to learn about the investments that we were going to get ourselves into.
Okay.
And we wanted to buy a house and rent it out short term. Some people call it vacation home rentals, some people call it short-term stays, but I wanted to learn all there was about the business, so I started learning about it. And as I was learning about it, I just realized that the skills that I had learned over the years, I was actually able to do and actually help others.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What is a virtual assistant?
Virtual assistants are the new type of administrative assistants, which before that were secretaries. And before, you used to be able to hire administrative assistants full-time, and they would come into your office and they work with you. Now you hire virtual assistants to handle just particular projects that you have. And what companies are doing now is just hiring them on a per-project basis. So it's kind of, you know, not getting rid of, but just downsizing and just hiring people just to do specific projects.
Okay, so for the listeners out there who may have been an executive assistant or an administrative assistant, and they're trying to find a job and they can't find one because there are so few positions like that available, because companies are downsizing, and with all of the automation. So are you saying that this could be their small business? They could start their own small business and be an administrative assistant or executive assistant to a number of different people for project by project and be able to have income that way?
That's actually where we're headed.
Wow.
And that is actually, people are no longer able to acquire an administrative assistant position anymore, because companies are now just hiring people to do it from home, because we're all working. Most people have computers now. Most people have scanners, cameras, whatever we need that we had in the office, we now pretty much have at home. So companies are just hiring you to work from home to handle particular projects.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you're looking for an administrative job and you can't find one, that's what's going on, exactly.
Wow. So how would someone who has those skills, what would they do is there an agency, or how do you get connected, or how do you get started?
Well, I first do some research online. There's a website called virtualassistants.com. There are organizations that do trainings. They do certifications, which you now, instead of going to a temp agency, you now actually get your certifications online. And once you have those certifications, companies are now willing to hire you. So now, instead of working for one company, you can work for a multitude of different companies and different clients, all paying you for particular projects. And now you work from home, and now you have more control over how you work, when you work. It's amazing.
Wow. So it frees you to be able to do a multitude of projects and really, initiate more income and save time and expense, because you can be at home working in your pajamas, in your sweats, and just be able to do all, and not have to spend the money on gas,
Right.
dry cleaning,
Work in the middle of the
lunch.
night, work
Yeah,
around your
middle of the
children's
night.
schedules. And there are literally hundreds and hundreds of projects online that are not able to be filled because there's not enough people aware that this is where we're headed.
Right.
in the workforce.
Right. I read about virtual assistants in with 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss.
Exactly.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
Outsourcing
exactly.
virtual assistants,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's growing, and there's just so many projects out there
Right.
that people don't realize people need help with.
That's wonderful. And then, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
you started your business as a videographer, and could you tell me a little bit about it? Because yours is a little unique too, because you're not from LA,
Right.
and you work full time
Mhm.
in your business on your own, all referrals.
Right. Right. Basically, I just loved video work growing up, and so I just started doing it on my own. Doing motion graphics, doing recording things,
Did you have to
doing.
go to school for that?
No, I actually taught myself everything. Doing claymation, stop motion, little animations, and then my church started asking me for help. I started upping my professionalism with that, and then people were like, I'd like to pay you to, do something for me back in St. Louis is where I lived. And then my church actually hired me to do that, to do it full time there. And then I really started developing the skills that I needed to do it professionally. And now here, I have clients in St. Louis. I have clients in Germany, in LA, all over the place just because I do it virtually. So,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything's done virtually these days.
right.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So that's another way of increasing your income. And I wanted you guys to talk about when you started your business.
Mhm.
Because of course now our virtual assistant here, Miss Claudia,
Mhm.
she's a professional. She's got all these clients,
Right.
and she has moved into a direction
Mhm.
that's even more profitable for her.
Right.
And so, in setting up your business, was there any fears, or what was the apprehension, or was there any apprehension when you setting up your business, or did you just say, I'm doing this, and you just move forward?
Well, I think fear comes with not knowing.
Right.
It's it's the fear of the unknown. It's not having enough knowledge about your industry,
Right.
about what you do,
Right.
about maybe the skills that you need to have. And so when I just started to learn more about, like for example, vacation homes, the more I got to learn about it, the more fearless I got. Because the more knowledge you have, the less risk
Right.
it will be, and then the less fear you'll have because you're knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, so the confidence of knowing what you're doing.
Right.
And that was something when I started this radio show, I talked to Kevin about, and I told him I was nervous. I told him that every week. And he said, good, nervous is good, but are you prepared? Because if you know what you're talking about,
Right.
then the nerve part, that'll go away, that'll subside. But as long as you know what you're talking about and you have that confidence, that's what you need.
Mhm.
And confidence is a big deal. And sometimes you know more than you think you know.
Right.
And your fear is stopping you from expressing or delivering on what you do know. So
Mhm.
Right.
that's a great point.
And fear is actually what's going to light your seat underneath you to actually do what you need to do to learn as much as you can about it.
Right.
Right. Well, it'll either stop you or start you.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're trying to motivate people. I'm trying to motivate people with this show to get past their fears. Because if you're going to build wealth, which is what this show is about initially,
Right.
is building wealth and maintaining it. And in
Mhm.
order to do that, you have to have money. And to get to the money, you have to overcome your fears
Right.
of getting to the money.
Right.
Right? And you
Right.
need more than one stream of income,
Mm-hmm.
usually,
Absolutely.
to build wealth. So to get there,
Mhm.
we have to get over our fears.
Mm-hmm.
And so what about you, Paul? What about you and your fears?
Yeah, I mean, basically, what people ask me is just start doing something. Just start. Like, how do you start a business? Just start. Just start doing it. Whatever it is, just start. Don't overthink it. Don't go, too much
Overplan
into it. Yeah, just begin it, and the little kinks and stuff like that will work out, along the way.
Yeah.
So,
And people will help you.
Right.
People will definitely
Yeah.
help you. Just ask
Yeah.
questions,
mhm.
And like you said, going online is a great resource,
Right.
because like you said, there is, what was the
a
Website?
virtualassistant.com. And I always say, what skill do you have?
Right.
What are you good at? And basically all you're doing is selling that skill.
Exactly. Whatever that is, whether it's a hairstylist, whether you're
Yep.
great with hair. I went to a young lady who she is a makeup artist. I mean, and that's what she does for a living. That's
Right.
one of her jobs.
One of her jobs.
That's one of her jobs, but that job pays her very well because she's so good at it. you
Right.
know. So whatever your skill level, the woman that does my hair,
Yeah. Whatever you
excellent
enjoy doing.
hairstylist,
Right.
but that's not her only stream of income.
Mhm.
So more and more, we're finding that people are taking their natural talents, because in this economy, you have to take what God gave you and work it.
Yeah.
So your natural talent has to come out.
Mhm.
And you have to build on what you were given as a gift
Absolutely.
on one stream. And like I said about starting your own business last week, do something you like,
Right.
something you enjoy,
Yeah.
something that's going to be of benefit to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Claudia, we're going to get deeper into not only are you a virtual assistant for other people, but how you started your own business in vacation homes and that being a niche. We're going to get to that in a moment, because I want to take my time with that one, because you took a virtual assistant position and turned it into a complete company where you're now helping other people
Right.
with their business,
Correct.
which is, their investment properties.
Right.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool.
Mhm.
And so how long have you been in the business?
I've actually just gotten over my 1 year anniversary.
Wow,
Nice.
Yeah,
congratulations,
I've actually been doing this
congratulations.
for 1 year.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
So I did about 6 months or so of just learning and researching and doing all there was
Mhm.
to learn more about it, learn as much about it as I could. And a lot of times we can research what we want to do as we're working a part-time job or full-time
Mhm.
job. As some people need to keep the money coming.
Right, don't quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job. Yeah, but on your off time, just research all there is to do. What certifications do you need, or what type of niche product or service can you provide that you're good at? What area or what field are you good at? Are you even if it's just plumbing? Do you have a really good maybe knowledge of people that
Mhm.
are in that business?
Right.
Just look around you. What kind of business have you been doing? Most people do find that they've been in a certain field for a while, so I would stick with that and then just kind of grow it from there. Pull yourself independent, learn all there is, and then just sell your skill.
Absolutely. And with that, we welcome to Accelerated Radio Praise, 24-hour gospel music and talk. You can call us on 323-238-0445 with questions and comments. You can also listen to the show on www.acceleratedradio.net, tuning in on Fridays at noon to me. This is Miss Charlene with Lunch with the Finance Bunch. And in a second, we're going to get back to talking to Paul about how he got his business started here in LA.
Nice.
Hello. Okay, we're back. This is Miss Charlene, and you're listening to Lunch with the Finance Bunch on Accelerated Radio Praise. 24-hour gospel music and talk. You can call in on 323-238-0445 with questions and comments. You can also listen to us at www.acceleratedradio.net. Please tune in every Friday from 12 noon to 1 o'clock. This is Miss Charlene with Lunch with the Finance Bunch. My guests today are Paul Baker and Claudia Castro. And Claudia was going to go into more detail about her virtual business and how it operates. And this is for you investors out there who either have income properties or are thinking about purchasing income properties or want to purchase more. This is a way of getting revenue from those properties, and I'm really excited about. So you want to tell us about that?
Tell you about...
That was a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That was like exciting. I'm like, woo! Okay.
Yeah, there is a fast-growing type of real estate, and that is what we call vacation home rentals. It is the Airbnb, VRBO.com. It's the HomeAway sites, primarily Airbnb, that have created this fast-growing internet exchange of homes that people are offering for you to stay in. So rather than families and people staying in homes, they can stay in people's houses, and I was just looking at the numbers, and I think it was just a few years ago, 12% of people would actually consider using vacation homes. And I think just last year, it went up to 33%.
Nice.
So it's growing fast as far as the number of people that are now looking for homes. And so right now in Los Angeles, I can tell you there's a shortage of homes that are available for people to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
And so the vacation homeowners that are actually turning their home into a short-term rental are overloaded. They are just overworked right now. They are trying to manage a business that has absolutely grown really, really fast. And now there's a lot of city ordinances that are getting involved. A lot of cities are now talking about regulating these short-term stays. Cities like Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach have all said, if you're going to stay or use these homes, it's nothing less than 30 days. And other cities and communities are now considering that as well.
Okay, but right now it's a viable business that.
It is.
Because I know Beverly Hills, all of Los Angeles.
Yes, I have a lot of clients there.
And most of the beach cities, if not all of the beach cities, there are a lot of these homes.
Yeah, and they're anything from studio apartments to estates, 13,000 square foot estates. It's across the board. If you are looking for a place for you and your family, or for you and just your significant other, your spouse, your dog, there's literally a place for everybody.
Wow. And then you personally,
Yeah.
what made you go into this? I know you kind of brushed on it a
Oh,
bit
yeah.
at the beginning, but tell us why you decided on this business.
Okay. Funny thing is that when we started doing some soul searching and really trying to figure out what it is that we really wanted to do when we grew up, because you know what, we're kind of grown up now, we started thinking about the lifestyle that we wanted.
Right.
And we started from there.
Mm-hmm.
We said, if we could have any kind of lifestyle, what would that look like?
Mhm.
And that's basically where it started, where we said, well, we would like a second home somewhere. Maybe we'd like 2 homes in 2 different cities. And so after a lot of just really working with coaches and advisors and just really looking at the possibilities, we thought of an idea of, instead of buying real estate in Los Angeles, which we can't afford, in the neighborhoods that we want,
Right.
like everybody else, unless we had $1 million to live in a decent,
Right.
area, we thought, well, where else would we like to travel to? And so we just started there, and then we said, well, why not buy a vacation home in one of the best places that we love to visit over and over again, and that was Northern California. And so we just from that point said, well, I need to learn all there is about it, because that will reduce our risk.
Right.
And so I just started going online, researching all the programs that are making it available for people to now rent out their home, and just started from there, just learning all there was about, having a second home. And so I realized, oh my gosh, I know how to do marketing. I know how to write. I know how to sell. And everything that I learned over the years from the many, many, many different jobs I had, I just kind of said, I can do this.
Right.
And so that's when the concept of helping other vacation homeowners, which is actually helping us learn about renting homes, it came into fruition. And so from that point, and the business has just grown. My first year, I've had homes anywhere from, at one time we had over 100 homes that we were servicing, from estate properties in the Beverly Hills area to the beach areas to, right here down the street, where I'm like, are you kidding? Like,
Right, because people want to be where they are at.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, whatever.
Yeah.
And the other good thing about that is, like, even visiting. I went to New York
Yes.
for, it was my cousin's birthday. And so I went to New York. I met her in New York. I
Right.
went to see plays and all that.
Yeah.
She has a friend who has a vacation home there. And it's a brownstone. And we stayed there. It was beautiful. We were, right downtown Brooklyn.
You were
So we
local.
were, so we were right across the bridge.
Nice.
And it was just perfect, you know, and we could have stayed in some crazy priced hotel,
Right.
you know, obnoxiously priced, but this was very well priced.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Right.
Just, it was more cozy, you know, not so sterile like a hotel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Right, where your kitchen has
Yeah.
stocked with oils and like spices.
More
Anything,
homeland.
whatever.
And real
Yeah.
food. Like we
Right.
you know, of course, ahead of time, we were like, oh, what do we want to eat, you know? And so we ordered ahead of time, and we got there, the refrigerator was full, you
Right.
know, so it was
That's
just,
crazy.
it was
That's
wonderful.
Yeah, and now some people, which I've actually helped do, even for some people who come out for the Oscars and who've actually won an Oscar, didn't realize these people who we were helping, said, you know, when we get there, we want our refrigerator stocked. And I was like, I can do that. I can do that for you. So we ordered all the groceries, had them sent to the house and stocked the fridge, and we had everything in order. So when the Oscar nominees came in to this home, they actually had all their food that they ordered with the exact same organic stuff they wanted, the exact same label, like the type of ice cream, whatever. They had it there in their home.
Right.
It just in the fridge, in the bowls, and it was like they came home to their home, and they were just renting it.
A refrigerator you can open with a popcorn is at $15.
Right.
Right?
Right. Exactly. That's you know, when you go to a hotel, you have a stock fridge, but it's like, you know, $10 for a Coke.
Right.
That's right.
Here, you know, it's what you would pay at a store, but it's just delivered for you. And just for a really small nominal fee, they would just have it all. And for, you know, if you're busy, or even if like you don't have to be like super wealthy, but I think for most of us who do have kids and a job and we've got a lot of stuff going on, we would just like those simple things done for us.
Right.
And so what I'm trying to do, and what, you know, we're trying to do with our company, is just bringing this type of service to everybody for a low fee, so that it's just everyone can enjoy it.
Right.
And you know, those homes, you guys, you should check them out because
Yeah.
they're affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have like, I'm planning a year from now, or 2 years from now, to do a family reunion in Georgia. And I stayed just this past summer at a home. It was 6 bedrooms. It was a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
6
Right.
bedrooms, 3 floors, with my grandchildren and my daughter and my mother. And we had a ball.
Mm-hmm.
It was so nice, you know, not to have them cramped into a little hotel room.
Right.
We have a whole full house, backyard,
Right.
everything.
Right.
So we're going to rent that house again for a week this time and have the, you know, a couple of, you know, just a close family, my brothers and sisters and their kids and my mom, and we're going to go do it.
I want to go.
Right?
I'm gonna take
And
my
Savannah
family.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll share that information with you.
Well, and there's another town that, you know, I think would be great to explore.
There's a gentleman in my office, I call him my favorite,
Uh-huh.
and he has a vacation home in the mountains here.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
Right.
his house is rented out pretty much the entire winter for skiing. And
Right.
for, you know, people who like to play in the snow. Being from New York, I'm not a snow, I don't want to be in the snow. But,
Right.
you know, I would certainly rent it in the summertime just to get away and be someplace that's picturesque, beautiful.
Right.
And that's a good point that I want to make, is that back in '96, there was a couple, and they would rent out their cabin. I grew up in a cabin. But back in the day, when you had a place that you wanted to rent out, you would post it on your work. Hey, I have a cabin available up in the mountains. Or you would tell your friends, or you would post it, and you would tell as
Right.
many people as possible. When the internet came, what happened was there was a couple that said, hey, let's make a place that people can go online and they can post their homes, and now, you know, we can have a little bit more exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they sold their business, I think it was in 2003, to a now bigger company that said, we can do it, we like your concept, and this is a great idea. This was a couple, going back to entrepreneurism, is that they had an idea, and it was something that was needed, and they said, hey, we have a home, we'd like to do this and offer it to other people, and now since then, they are now surpassed over 1 million other homes that are now available.
Right.
And now vacation homes online has become a multi-billion-dollar business. because now everybody is like, oh my gosh, there's a place where I can rent out my home, my
Right,
second home,
right.
that it can pay for itself.
Right.
So that's how the whole idea got started, and that's why it's now huge.
Right. Me and my wife were looking into a place in Tokyo that rented a home.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
a Rokian, like
Oh.
traditional Japanese
Did
home.
you guys stay there?
We haven't yet.
No,
We're planning.
planning to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So.
Yeah, because you can get the total local experience.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
people come and bring you traditional food,
Oh,
and, you know.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
hmm
Yes, we would like to rent out one of our peers who has a place in Croatia. And
Right,
he says he's
exactly.
from Croatia. He goes, I have a house out there, and I said, well, we can
Right,
stay there.
right.
So yeah, so once you find something that you really have a passion about, I mean, I have a passion about hospitality.
Mhm.
I love to be hospitable. I love to
Right.
have people over. I love to entertain, and it's now everything. Once people find what it is that they want to do and what kind of skill they can sell, it just completely exponentially just grows from there.
Right,
And
right.
that's when it gets really fun. And,
Right.
and that's when the money will start to come.
Right.
And the other point in that I'd like to make is that once you do get past that fear of starting your business, you start to see how many other businesses you can either partner with
hmm
or can be born out of you taking that first step and starting.
Right.
Because there's so many other businesses and business ideas that just come from that one idea. I'm in mortgage banking as a business, and this is not my, I never dreamed of having a radio show, right?
Mhm.
But when it was offered, I thought about all the other things that jobs I've done and things I've done, and how could I help make a difference?
Right.
So I decided to take this on, and it really was and I was afraid, but I tell everyone every week a little bit about fear, is that what you want to do has to be more important to you than the fear you feel about doing it.
Yeah.
So it has to be something that you're passionate about.
hmm
Even if it's just passionate about getting out of the situation you're in.
Right.
If you're
Yeah.
sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're tired of living the way you live, or not having enough money, or only having enough to do the basic things
Right.
in life, and you want to have more.
Right.
Whatever your passion is, use that as your weapon to fight the fear.
Right.
And then you can get past it. And once you do, you get to the other side, you go, wow, I can do this.
hmm
So why don't we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to tell you again where we're at. We're at Accelerated Radio Praise, 24-hour gospel music and talk. I'm Miss Charlene, and you're listening to Lunch with the Finance Fund. You can call us on 323-238-0445, or you can listen at www.acceleratedраdio.net. You're listening to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. I'm Miss Charlene, and in this part of our show, Paul, I want you to elaborate more on what it is you do as a videographer and some of the other aspects of your business that you built from starting as a videographer.
Yeah. Basically, I do a lot of just field recording. I go and record video, and then I put it together for the clients. And I also do a lot of editing, promotion graphics, and like titles, and animating logos, and doing lower thirds, and doing titles for feature films or short films, opening or ending credits, animating every little thing you could possibly imagine, lighthouses, the light swirling around the sea, I've done stuff for short films, feature films, commercials, YouTube vlogs, everything possibly you can think of. Basically.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Now, coming to Los Angeles where are you from?
I was originally born in Houston, Texas,
Mhm.
and then I moved about 18 times before I was 18.
Wow.
But I settled in St. Louis for a while, like 10 years. Met my wife there, and then we came out to Los Angeles.
Okay, did you have family out here, or?
My wife did.
Okay,
Mhm.
and so why did you decide, because you had a thriving business back there, right?
Right, right.
So what made you come to LA, and how did you get started once you got here?
Right. It's kind of interesting because she's talking about doing everything virtually, and I was talking to my clients, realizing that back in St. Louis that I could do a lot of things virtually and just kind of switch over and try to build locally out here in Los Angeles, at the same time be able to still work with the people that I'm used to working for in St. Louis.
Also, you expanded your business. You didn't
Right.
just move it, you expanded. So you still have clients
Mhm.
back there that you work for and work with
Yep.
because of the way you can work virtually.
Mhm.
And now you're building your clientele here too.
Right, exactly. And now it's like gone over the country. You meet new people every day.
Absolutely. And your business is a lot of word of mouth.
Right,
A lot of your business is word of mouth and referral.
right,
Like in helping me and doing the video here,
Mhm.
you just got another client,
right.
right?
Mhm.
So word of mouth with business is, if you're good at what you do and you build a good reputation,
Mhm.
word of mouth will help carry that business also.
Right. I strive for excellence, and I can't it feels weird for me to give it not looking good, or I want to always make sure it's top of the line. So I think that people see that, and maybe that's just why I keep getting people, trying to get me to do stuff for them.
I definitely work hard. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just did a commercial in Germany just last month for just some random medical thing, I didn't even know what I was writing, I was like, I don't know German, but okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
mhm,
That's really good.
mhm.
Now, I did have another question about, now you said you have another part of your business I wanted to elaborate a little bit on, and that is you do logo animation.
Right. Motion graphics is the technical term, but motion graphics, anything graphic-wise, logo animation, anything basically,
I've been looking for a video
Oh.
on my website that is, I think they call it explainer videos,
Mhm.
where they explain what you do.
Right.
That is something that's I've been looking for.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Look at that, business on the air. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what? And our engineer back here, we have muffled her because last week she got so excited, she became a part of the conversation. And so they stopped her, but this week her animation, if you could see it, I mean, she is dying to say something.
Yeah.
I loved it last
I did too. But Claudia, Claudia's business card is cute, to say the least. I love it. And you could animate, she has like a caricature of herself on here. You could animate this on your website,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you can animate it, and I mean, right? Because it's so cute.
Mhm.
Look at that. I need to charge you for that. If you do it, I've got witnesses.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoever's in the listening audience out there heard me say it.
She's
May I
asking
see
for a
it?
cut.
Yes, I'm asking for a cut.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Animated.
definitely.
Yeah.
There you go. So now I'm going to be your business coach.
Yeah.
Have her walk up to a little home,
Exactly.
Deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here you go. Claudia, I want to find out just now, the two of you are just meeting, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
First time.
Right.
First time meeting, and then you can see how your world merges with his.
Yes.
Mhm.
And how he can complement what you do and really help you.
Right.
Like by taking videos of some of the homes that you're going to possibly, or,
Definitely.
automating, some more of your website for you hopefully.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you can
Sure.
meet people organically just in
Right.
conversation about what you do and create other business.
Right.
And that's how business grows.
And that's how
Yeah.
business grows.
Yeah.
We are part of a breakfast group, Claudia and I.
Mm.
And we, mutually share business with each other.
Mhm.
I refer her, she refers me, and the whole group, we refer each other. And how much business comes out of that is phenomenal.
Right.
I'm going to have a guy come on one of the shows, and he's going to talk about networking and how
Mm,
powerful
mhm.
that is, and how to get started networking.
Right.
Because I'm trying to take the audience to wealth building, and to wealth
Mhm.
build, you have to have what?
Yep.
Money.
Mhm.
And to have money, you have to do what? Have more than one stream of income.
Yep.
So in helping us to get to that place, I want to have people on who are experts in different areas so they can give you other ideas. I have my goddaughter call me on my way here and said her and her husband are thinking about buying a home. and they're buying a condo. And they found one in the building that they're renting. And if they buy one in that building, the cost is going to be a third of what they're paying for rent in the building. And so she said the realtor is scaring her by telling her, oh, you won't be able to sell the condo. I said, why would you want to sell it? Ever. And when you get ready to buy a house, rent it out. Now you have an investment property, right? And somebody will pay you the same rent you're paying to live in the one you're living in, right? So a lot of times, people don't see how they can build wealth. So it's not easy, but the steps to it are what no one discusses. And so that's what we're going to do on this show, is discuss not just breaking down the different aspects of financial wealth, but also how you get to it. Because that's a point that I don't think is mentioned enough. How do I get to that second income? How do I build that second income? And
that's a
create
question,
my own wealth.
That's a question everybody asks.
Absolutely.
How do I do it?
Absolutely.
I have friends in St. Louis who just post stuff on Craigslist all the time. Need video work, need blah, 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 I haven't actually needed to do that, but I see them get lots of gigs that way. Just simple things, and then they've taken off from doing that,
There's so many outlets online that I think the internet has really changed tremendously in just the past 10, 15 years. Things where, before the answers that we needed were harder to get. Now, literally no one has an excuse. I mean, just go online wherever you can, type in whatever it is that you need to know, and you'll find the networks, you'll find the people, you'll find the companies, you'll find the numbers that you need to call, you'll find everything. I almost tell people, I know it's good to go to college, but everything you need is on the internet. Just learn it, master it, go out there, sell it, and you will be fine.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. And if you don't have a computer yet, go to the library.
Definitely.
You can go online at the library, until you can get that computer.
We really don't have an excuse.
And then get a refurbished computer. I've got
That's right.
so
I just
many
bought one.
really nice computers just for super cheap.
And just get started there. My guest that was on my second show was my pastor, and he said, take a survey of what you're spending. If you really want to start a business, take a survey of what you're spending and cut back. And just save a little bit at a time. This is a microwave age where everybody wants everything right now. But just take a little bit at a time away, and do your job, that you're doing on a daily basis. My son-in-law is in music. And, oh my God, he is an excellent writer, producer, musician, you name it, rapper, so much talent. And while he's building his business, he has a job because you got to still pay the rent, You got children to take care of everything. So whatever, I want to say this, whatever your passion is, don't give up on it. Work your 9 to 5 because you have to, but anything worth having is corny, is worth working for. And you might be up 12, 14, 16 hours a day. But at the end of that day, you feel good about it because, yes, you've given to the job you have, but you're also creating.
Sometimes it just, the time that it takes to unravel your brain from, why can't I get a job? We're trying to say you no longer need a job. We're actually going into an era, the internet is taking us into an era that is all becoming virtual. And so, especially here in Los Angeles, if we don't learn how to work independently and have our own wealth and have our own streams of income, we will not make it in Los Angeles. So I always tell people, the things are changing at a rapid speed. What was going on 2 months ago is no longer happening. That's how fast things are moving. So if your mind is not comprehending, it's just really at least taking note of where you're at mentally and saying, okay, I need to work with my mindset because I don't get it, I don't agree, I don't understand, are all things that should trigger people to say, you know what, I need to work on understanding why. And a lot of times what we find out is that we have been working for so many years where people tell us, when to take a break and when to go to the restroom and when to get off so when you're told that for so many years, you don't even know how to function anymore independently because it's now been so ingrained in our mental psyche that no, we need somebody to tell us what to do. Well, what we're trying to say is that's no longer
the case. And you can start, we don't want anybody to jump out the window and just go for it.
Exactly.
But, take the baby steps.
Right.
Create that business that is your passion.
Right.
And do it a little bit at a time. Build up, your core group that you want to work with. And just one person at a time. If it's makeup, make up your sister's face, make up your girlfriend's faces when, and get that practice in. Or if it's, singing or dancing or whatever it is, it can be whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you can build on that, and just keep your day job and do it until it can replace your day job if you're that type of person like Claudia said, who is accustomed to, clocking in, getting there at 9 o'clock or 8:30 and then clocking out for lunch, clocking back in. That's a hard mindset to break.
Yeah.
So take little baby steps.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're talking about building wealth here. Because we're trying to get to a place where we are in a place where, and that's wealth at your definition. Whether it's you want to be able to take the vacations of your dream, buy a home, put your kids through college, whatever that is to you, have the ability or the luxury of being able to do that.
Right. I was just going to say, it's not how great you start, but it's how great you end up.
That's right.
And so, and I always just think of that. It's okay. It's just starting small. We're just keeping on going.
Yeah.
And it's not like I can definitely get in my head about stuff, and just one day at a time. One day at a time, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So
that's absolutely right. Yeah, because it does. It's one day at a time. In mortgage banking, I can sit down in front of a room of 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. It doesn't matter because that's something I've done for such a long time. You ask me about programs, how do I buy a house, Charlene? How do you, that's easy for me. Now this is something new. So before I take time to, just get myself in a headspace where to come on and do this because I know it's a need.
Yeah,
I know it's a need.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about fulfilling that need, right? So I have to walk through that fear, and you have to go through whatever your process is, to get to that point. This is Accelerated Radio. You are listening to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. I'm Miss Charlene. Accelerated Radio Praise is 24-hour gospel music and talk. If you'd like to call in, we're at 323-238-0445 with any questions or comments you might have. You can also catch us on www.acceleratedradio.net on your internet, iPad, or tablet. And tune in on Fridays at 12 noon. This is Ms. Charlene with Lunch in the Finance Fund. And we're talking about two business owners, and we're talking about the process it takes to start that business. Absolutely. So Claudia, give us your website. Tell us where you are, so if someone wants to rent a vacation home or get in contact with you, how do they do that?
They can just go to vacationhomeassistant.com.
Say it again?
Vacationhomeassistant.com.
Is there a phone number or is it the website?
My phone number's on there, but I'll gladly leave my phone number. It's 310-265-3697. There. With anything, any questions on vacation homes, virtual assisting, how to get started in a business, how to become a virtual assistant, I'll definitely just mention that you're here and I'll go ahead and talk to you.
Oh, wonderful. And this is vacationhomeassistant.com. Vacationhomeassistant.com.
Correct.
Yes. And then if we need a video made or anything to do with that, how would we reach you, Paul?
You can email me, but I have a demo reel up at vimeo.com/m/Paul Baker.
Okay.
But you could also email me at iampaulbaker@gmail.com.
I love it. iampaulbaker@gmail.com.
That's it.
Good. Why didn't I think of that? I am Charlene at somebody that. Cheryl, why didn't we think of that?
I'm Cheryl Branch at gmail.com.
Whatever. Okay, I'm the only one in the room that didn't think of that. Okay. Okay, before we close, because we only have about 5 minutes left, but before we close, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience as a closing, about your business that you think would be helpful to them? Either one of you. You want to start?
Just if you do things in excellence and with all your heart,
Mm-hmm.
you will be able to do things before kings, and people will see that, and they'll come to you running if you're doing it with everything you've got and with high quality,
That's right.
and don't do things with fear, do things out of love, wanting to help people, not, it's not selfish reasons, it's helping, and
Absolutely.
it's give and take, and,
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Attitude is everything. Just really having a positive outlook on, believing in the best of people and serving and just, doing things that you're doing just to help others.
Yeah.
There are people that, sometimes it doesn't go off on the right foot, but you still come back and you say, you know what, it didn't work out here, I want to help you. Call this other person, this person might be great for you. That goes a long way.
Right.
They just totally turn around and go, oh, okay, for whatever reason. So I think that's really, look at what the challenges that you're facing and just tackle those challenges head on. And if it's like, I don't know why I am just, it's just not coming out, well, what is it about you that you have to change in order to move forward? And, having that positive attitude with everybody really it does go a long way.
I believe that. And I think, people see in you what you radiate, and so if you have a giving heart, that goes a long way, I think, like you're passionate about, video and making sure it comes out right, because he and I meet for 10 minutes or so after each session, and he talks to me about, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is where you can see it at, and that means a lot to me. So of course, what am I going to do? I'm going to refer him to other people because I know the quality of his work.
Right.
The same with you. What did you say? I do this because I'm passionate about it.
Right.
Other businesses have come to me because of it, but I do this because it's something that I'm good at and I'm passionate about it.
Yes.
And you have to be confident in that stance. I'm good at it, and like mortgage banking, I'm good at it. I'm great at it. And so I'm striving to make this radio show something that I can say I'm great at.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it will help people.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the ultimate goal. I think if you set out to do something good for people,
Right.
whether it's perform for them so that when they leave your concert or your show, they feel like you were singing or rapping or your music was just for them.
Yeah.
Or your video, I'm your customer, but I feel like, I know you have hundreds of customers, but I feel like I'm your only customer because you cater so well to me. And the same with you, so in your business, you and I've talked, and in our conversation, I felt special. She walked me through her business and let me understand it and see it, so that when I want to rent a vacation home, who am I going to?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Who am I going to ask? Who am I going to refer people to?
Right.
Right.
So I think that's a part of it too. In building wealth, we have to do more than one thing. In building wealth, we have to be passionate about at least one business.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the one
For
we
sure.
started of our own. So I think passion, respect for others and things like that are things that make us successful. I think those things make us successful. And I want to thank you guys for being here today. I hope the listening audience got something out of this.
Yeah.
You can tweet us, you can call us, you can always listen. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have the videos up of prior shows, so you'll be able to see those. And it's just been wonderful having you in my audience. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
thanks
so
for having
much.
us.
Thank you.